longer than intended wait. Hope you all are having a good evening. Let's see. Alright, we've got Andre's World Tree Woo Deck of the Week. I was like, oh man, someone's made a spicy Ars Honey build, and that's true, I guess. I have not given this a spin yet. Maybe I should do that. But I think the name of the stream was Clones versus Bioroids. Oh, apparently I need to log in. Give me 1 second to copy over some information. Let's see. Alright, so I think I got the feedback. Alright, so I got the feedback that I've been doing a lot of OB-focused content. And so I figured I should do some other stuff, and I should maybe do some Jinteki and some HB and see what I can come up with over there. And like one of the immediate things I'm thinking about in Jinteki, right, is that we have this. Is this the Augustus's list? Yeah. Like, this is proving to be a pretty robust and resilient archetype. A punitive Counter-Strike YDL. Like, this is maybe just a list. You know what? Let's, instead of me coming up with a whole new list, let's go and copy it so that we can just give it Augustus his due. Let's see if Jinteki has me logged in. Sure does. Hey, Augustus. Let's give this a shot. I'm excited to pilot this poorly. How are you doing this evening, or for you, early morning? By which I mean very early morning. Hey, Ben. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the recent op video. Just be warned that playing the deck in JNet is mega scuffed. Oh, is this the, like, Vampira Nessa doesn't work once a single... what's the other one? Bacterial programming fires. People, there was a video. It wasn't with you, but it was a video with Jack May talking about calibration testing op, which I thought was interesting. I don't know. It was one of the things that I didn't call out during the thing, but was kind of interesting is I don't think I saw calibration testing used in any of the 3 games. I think we talked through a line where one probably could have been used. And well, for watching later or tonight maybe, who knows? We'll see. I've been having some like really bad allergies, which has just been kind of knocking me out of commission. But took some extra allergy medication. Hopefully that will get me up and going. But yeah, also YouTube just decided to show my video to half as many people as it normally does. So like, I don't know. Don't know why YouTube decided that, but it did. And I also probably could have given it a catchier title and stuff, but... Oh, I see what you mean, Augustus. Yeah. It's just like people they don't play like good, clean games against Ag Infusion. They just kind of run it down. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and that's kind of I was like, okay, well, we could build like, you know, I was like, oh, if I wanted to memify this, you know, what I would do is I would try and put Neurospike in here, and then like a Lacosta, and just try and like just cook for as long as possible rather than try and win quickly. Yeah. Hey, Eric. Thanks for coming by. Ooh, this should be an interesting matchup. I say that quite sincerely, I think. This hand, I think we'll keep it. Because I think just a turn of Tatu Rashida is alright. Yeah, actually, I like it a good bit. Well, let's do the good old GLHF. I almost want to just put the Regolith down. Yeah, Eric, I almost want to... Oh, I'm in the wrong camera mode. There we are. Eric, I might go over our replay from earlier, because I think it's something I want to look at a little bit more carefully. Both to find, like, honestly to find my own mistakes, like where I let that one get away from me a little bit. But yeah. Okay, well, we get a Rashida off, so odds of winning go up dramatically. Another Rashida seems good. I'm gonna go hedge fund a teeny R&D, and we'll put the Rashida back in server 1. I'm gonna turn... Oh, hold on. Music's gonna get even quieter, I think, here. It's just coming... Oh, actually, maybe I can just... Yep, just turn it down there, and that should be okay. Excuse me. I had some very nice pad thai, but apparently that's giving me a little bit of the hiccups. Okay, Turbine is down off of a Spark, so this is probably Grug Brain. I don't have the setup for Regenesis yet. But honestly, I can probably, like, preset it by doing something like this. Oh, this is the nice thing where I can res Tatubola, let them break it, swap it for the Anansi, boop them with Tatubola, and then they run and hit an Anansi and are pretty sad. Punitive, so they now know what's up. I guess we're actually, like, not in real money threat for Punitive here. Though I guess this will level the field quite a bit. Okay, so this is Turbine Inversificator. So they spent 6. Strength 4 is pretty reasonable. Maker's Eye, okay. Yeah, we'll ag you into, archives here. Hey, Epic Win. This is, a lot of this stuff is actually Cyber Feeder. It's a Firefox plugin. Just say a Foxfire. That's a funny one. Yeah, it's sick, honestly. So I think this is going to be ice up R&D again and clear out the Regolith. Actually, no, it's put the Spin Doctor in a new remote. Oh no, because now I can't discard end of turn. Oh, I'm such a silly Billy. Well, that's good to hear, Eric. Yeah, I guess I can, I don't know. We'll see. Not hit the bacteria. Actually, no, if you hit the bacteria, I'd be pretty happy here. I think, because I have 9 shots at the punitive, and I've got more than twice the money. Oh, are we deep diving? We're deep diving. Oh, we're stealing a Fuji at the same turn? Stealing a Fuji on the same turn, though. It's like we want to die. I guess I see what I mean by Augustus' comment of people just run it down. They've seen the punitive in our hand. Maybe they'll only take the Regenesis because they've seen the punitive in our hand. They know they're... I guess they're not dead on board. Okay, and they even took the right card. That's actually, like, pretty impressive. Res. Take 3. So they can break any single ice I put on archives here, which is a bummer. So I could risk giving up the win here. I genuinely don't know how you do this, Augustus. How are they not dead on board? They only stole 2 Regenesises, right? Oh, you're right. If they had stole, I was thinking they had 4 cards in hand, but I forgot that Fuji asset would do 2 to them. They gain a credit. I think Bacterial is the one I would rather score here. I'll have a lot of shots on goal here. Resing the Seisenton. This way, if they do hit the Fuji, I have, let's name event. If I hit the Fuji here first, I'm actually pretty happy. I think if they don't, there's a world... If they, like, run... I guess if they run Archives first, I'm probably okay. Oh, I think they're deciding if they should swap the Seisenton. Oh, interesting. Alright, they hit DRM. Oh, I like that play too, Augustus. So just putting the ice on archives and then making them go and check. Yeah, I wonder, am I supposed to be preferring to score the Fujis over the Bacterials? I could believe it. Okay, Wheels, so they're setting up for another deep dive. Part of me next turn just wants to go install Advance. And say you don't have the last deep dive. Oh, this is a pretty cute little play. I think I'm okay as long as they don't steal 2 of the 3 pointers that are left. Alright, because it's 1 Fuji and 2 Bacterials, so 3, that would be 9, 12. No, what am I missing? Wait, what is the agenda suite in this list? No, okay, so it's 3, 3, 3. Got it. Oh, nice and easy. Okay. Yeah, with 2 credits, I mean, this is just a slam and jam. Slam a jamma. I think 77443 actually did a pretty decent job here. I feel like I saw some people talking about Turbine and Versificator Aeneas kit, I think for Fight Club, it makes a lot of sense. I think for is this going to dominate the meta? Less sold, probably. But I don't know. Kit's done a lot more this season than I would have expected after having a quiet decade of not doing very much. It's kind of cool to see Kit put up some good performances. And I'm sure the old heads will come in and gripe at me for forgetting the Kit meta that came and went briefly that I don't remember. The Maw Kit deck is good. The Grugless, I'm less convinced. Interesting. Yeah. Maw plus 3 Stone Chip covers a lot of Ice-Light matchup that you're otherwise weak to. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I've been thinking about in, like, my Arasana decks where I'm like, oh, could I just play 3 Stone Chips and, like, not die to Reaper NEH? Like, is that just a line you have? And maybe, yeah, Maw and Stone Chip just deals with a lot of those, like, combo decks in a way that's better than, like, the engine draw from the late pad. I think one of the things I've really not done that I should have done was spend some time testing the other consoles in Arasana's engine style decks. Though I do think like the non-engine style decks for Arasana are probably the better way to be going. Oh shoot. We know that the top 2 are safe here though. So this is kind of a... Actually, I think this is guaranteed to not win. Right? Because we haven't seen any... Like, they need to run the Spin Doctor to make this count here. Like, instead of clicking to draw, they need to click to run the Spin Doctor. But honestly, I probably do let them trash it there because they're not winning otherwise. So this is probably a trash decision, I guess. Yeah. Well, Glacier gonna Glacier. GG. Yeah. I think like if you're they should have stolen 2 3-pointers on their dive. Yeah. Yeah, they did try and dive early. I wonder if they're supposed to wait for the wheels. I feel like actually, if you're playing this Kit deck and you steal an early Regenesis, which I think they just did on a single, you actually can just sit back and set up for your deep dive. Like you want to put like some pretend pressure, make the Ag Infusion player like spend some resources, but like if you ever get the deep dive off, you probably win. And yeah, like if I can't score out of the remote, which Kit does shut down generally pretty well, like that's how you turn deep dive into the win condition. Yeah, they were trying to play aggressively, and I don't think they had any reason to play aggressively. And like this is one of the hardest things to do, I think, as like it's one of the reasons I think it's like, so you look at like tournament data and like runners are, depending on the event, sometimes significantly down. And I feel like a lot of that is because what you have to do against every corp is very variable, and so you have to have a lot of game knowledge. About how to pilot each matchup and how to understand the corp's win condition off of very little information. And like what your counterplay is supposed to be. And like, and yeah, I guess I think your point that like Ag Infusion messing with Kit's ID is definitely a big deal. You know, to some extent, as I'm thinking about it later, Inversificator does help with that a little bit, right? So my remote was actually busted there because, well, okay, if it wasn't double Tatubola, my remote was busted there. We'll keep this hand. I think it's pretty bad, actually, and I shouldn't have kept it. But I do think double icing centrals is going to be pretty solid early. But yeah, once you hit 6 points, I feel like as Kit you can slow down. Like, yes, the Ag Fusion player maybe can contest a little. I kind of want to see how... I mean, actually, do I just use Adrian to protect here? This costs... No, let's click for that credit, I guess. Because I don't actually have the swaps with Tatubola. Okay, we're playing Strike Fund. We're installing an Echelon. That's interesting. This is a 45 card blue. Someone has been deciding to bulk up a little. I mean, I kind of want to just go Anansi Archives, Regenesis Server 1. Pansei Review, the Fuji. Yeah, you can gain credits. You already can gain 6 credits for a click. Yeah, there was some player that was, like a new player go like, hey, why do you never give Anarchs card draw? And like, I think the answer is basically like, Anarchs with card draw is legitimately the strongest faction in the game. And that's why all their card draw options are really like weird. Because like they can do so much more with 4 cards. Like, you know, they have a click for 8 credits, so if I give them 4 cards here, they run away with this game. As it stands, what do I do here? I think I need like one more piece of ice to push. Do I though? What do they have in the heap? Well, I don't have the... Yeah, I don't quite have everything I need. So, I'm going to res the Spin Doctor. I'm going to install Adrian in Server 1. And we're going to get the Tatubola on Server 1. This does make my Tatubolas on the Centrals a little less good. But the Sadaka has been coy. It's been quite threatening, I guess. Like it's done a surprisingly good job. Why have these punitive decks moved from RH to Ag Fusion? I mean, you'll have to, honestly, Augustus is the right person to answer that question. Like, from my perspective, the reason is Restoring Humanity's gain 1 credit per turn is cute and can probably make the runner misplay. But in practice, the Ag Infusion ability is just much stronger. And this game would probably be the argument that some people would make for why like Mulch is stronger than the Lu deck, but I would say it's more about the fact this person was running Friday Chip twinning and like also didn't actually just run its stuff. Yeah, I guess saying that stealing the Regenesis is usually the hardest thing for like Ag defends the Regenesis better than other stuff, which I think makes some sense. We'll do one more of this, and then I kind of see what Augustus means by like it's a little bit difficult to get good testing data. Like in our first game, like it's tricky. Like this deck does ask the runner some really challenging questions. Ben, I will say from my perspective, having mostly played against the RH lists, I felt like as Crim, it was easier against RH to know if I was going to take any damage and if I needed to like install a class act preventatively or not. And like it was a little bit easier to like pinhole threading the Anoetic Void and bust the remote. And Ag Infusion is going to make all of that more difficult to do. But yeah, you know, Augustus is the person who actually has spent a lot of time on this archetype, and I haven't. So him saying these two versions are very close is great. Let's see. Sorry, the call for the Snareberry dude stuff is going. Ag is better against Turbine decks, which has been important. I'm assuming that's important, not impotent, but you never know. Augustus having a fun time, I presume, typing on your phone in bed trying to fall asleep. So thanks for tuning in. But yeah, like there isn't that much Turbine around, right? It is mostly Mulch and like Mulch Lou and like Reg Crim. Though I think if you're playing a fight night, like the Ag Infusion being one of your decks is one you don't mind too much, because it's got like this is not a keeper. Svan Himmelrick, I'm guessing is this name. Okay, so this is going to be a slower start than the others. I have not piloted Andre's... Hey, Z-Bag. I have not piloted Andre's list yet. It's on my to-do list. I think I said I was going to do... I want to try and do a little bit of Jinteki, a little bit of HB tonight. I also am going to probably, after this game... Wait, Augustus, I thought you were, like, in Ireland, where it's, pretty late at night, but maybe I've got your geography, or maybe I just have your sleep schedule wrong. I guess I should not make assumptions. I'm the person who's like weirdly going to bed at like 9:30, 10, so I'm often going to bed at the same time as Europeans. Oh my goodness, we've been joyrided. Oh, that's so sick though. Oh, I love Joyride. I do actually think it's maybe a little bit underplayed. Like after last week, I've been playing some more Joyride Arasana. Oh right, there's some news. So I brought Joyride Arasana with. Well, I mean, this is probably where Joyride looks pretty bad actually, because you're going to 0 credits, so you're gonna go like click Creative Commission. So you traded like 3 clicks and. A lot of credits to do this. Right, so you're gonna have drawn 5. Ooh, do we have a second 0 coster? Yeah, so we're gonna have spent 2 clicks, or no, 2 credits, a click. Yeah, we're spending way too much on this, but that's all right. So I think what I'm going to do is click for a credit in a really fancy way. But anyway, my point was playing both Burner and Joyride felt like some nice early, like one way or the other, I'm going to win a little bit as Shaper. The biggest challenge being like you kind of have to play Joyride at 7 credits. Which is not trivial to do in every situation. But, hey, maybe prepaid voice pad can come back and that'll make it a little bit better. We're going to see a DJ Steve here, I hope. So probably my turn is like click Regolith twice and ice up R&D. We'll likely see more Joyride when Diesel rotates. Maybe. We might see more VR-cation. I don't know. This is one of the, like, I've been trying to think about, like, what, you know, if you kind of take the 1,000-foot view back, it's like, okay, why is Shaper performing badly? Because some of the most important cards in the meta right now, Simulchip and Turbine, are Shaper Color Pie, right? They have the best Sure Gamble, in theory at least, right? They have a 1 credit gain 5, so a 1 credit plus 4, which like just outperforms Sure Gamble for the most part. Oh, I don't like this Rain to grab when I'm sitting on 12 credits on board. And you just saw a hedge fund on the top of my deck. That Rain is a very odd install. I really want Joyride to be good, but I think the restriction is too anti-synergistic. You mean the restriction on R&D? Or the restriction, like the other play restrictions where you kind of have to play it early in your turn? Ben. Reyna for future value. Yeah, I mean, Reyna's representing 3 value. Hey, Theo. Yeah, I mean, super jet lagged, me streaming on a different night. What? It's everything coming together. The run R&D thing. Is a villain dead here? No, villain probably lives unless I hit. No, they live. Yeah, they are. Eco the host for 2, break 2 subroutines. Even if I hit an event, you often need to draw cards when you can't make a run. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, it's like if the corp has locked you out of R&D, that's often when you need to draw. And so Joyride doesn't help you there. Joyride is like, oh, I need to land this on my first turn if the corp doesn't ice it up. And if they do ice it up, suddenly your Joyride's not drawing you any cards. I think that's a pretty fair critique of the card. All right, catch you later, Eric. Oh, it did. Lol. Hmm. He needs to let you resolve Ega before picking a subtype or the other way around. Interesting. Oh, wait. Just gonna try something. I want to see if, like, Res. No, we did. Yeah, the game does still think the Ika is there. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? Okay. Wait, why is the Ika not in your heap? Okay, you know what? Oh boy. Hopefully, because I haven't hit start turn, this will be okay. Someone clip this and send it to Lost Geek. Okay. Wait for me to give you a go ahead to host. So it was draw bravado. Cool. Res Sysenton. Okay. Now try hosting. And we'll all cross our fingers. Hey, worked out. That's an interesting bug. That's a fun one. Okay, so the bug was they were trying to host Ika at the same time that I was trying to resolve the Sysenton. Oh, Oh, Reyna did make this cost 6. I forgot. Reyna's doing something, right? Let's go draw. Click, click. I guess next turn is like I almost might digital DRM the Regenesis. Like a different Regenesis out of my deck. No, because if I show them a Regenesis, they will just run Archives, and I don't have the kill set up. I guess I could probably just install Advance with Fuji, because Ika is still going to break it for 2 to host, 2 to boost, 2 to break, so 6. So it breaks up a lot of their money, and it doesn't cost me too much. Not that I think it matters at all here, because they break for 2 credits. Yeah, them breaking a 6 cost ice for 2 credits does seem pretty good. DRM for Bacteria is the worst. I don't think we can discard everything we want to, though. Yeah, it's like draw YDL, DRM maybe? No, because then I'm going up to 6, 7, but then going down 2. So I'd end at 5, yeah, so it wouldn't work. No, wait. Yeah. Yeah, if I draw an ice, I can overwrite the Ika, and that's definitely what I want to do here. Like, this is one of those situations where it's like, well, no, the runner shouldn't recoast the Ika. Oh, installing a Gauss, it's a little bit weird here. I mean, Vampira Nest is a great res for me here, even at cost 8. Vampira Nasa, like, I'm starting to feel like feels like one of those over-curve ice that we're going to be seeing a lot of for a long time. And it's funny, because, like, when it came out, people were like, oh, it's just a bad DNA track. And I'm like, I think it's actually doing some really good stuff for these kind of tempos. Okay, what did we hit? We hit Pinhole, Wheels, pretty good cards to hit. So I have 8, so I can go down to 5. Or I can Regenesis, Slicenton Archives, click for a credit. I might discard... Oh, right. The whole point of this play is discard the Fuji. What am I thinking? Yeah, this will cost Good von Helmerich 4 credits to break the Slicenton, but we can also just boop him into the Vampira Nasa. Which is probably just winning. And then we get 4 points. One of my persistent questions with this deck is what happens if the runner just sets up for 5 turns, doesn't try and interact at all. Then once we score the 4 points, they start trying to contest. Like, that's been one of the lines that I played against this deck kind of early on and had, you know, some decent success. I think, you know, the digital rights management is probably the answer to why you can't do that. I wonder if that's enough. Okay, let's see what opponent has. I'm hoping for their sake they've got like a daily cast they can throw down. Ooh, I don't like that Euler install, especially because I have Vampira Nasa on the board. So I'm probably not actually resing this Slicenton. Okay, so Augusta's saying, yeah, Turbine decks can just let you get to 4 and then just out-efficiency you. But decks that don't have Turbine, just having servers of like Anansi, Slicenton, Vampira Nasa, like most runner rigs can't handle that very efficiently. I do worry sometimes that like Turbine is an effect that probably is a little bit too good for the game, but maybe can't get removed from the game either because breakers without Turbine kind of suck. But they also, like, it's like this weird catch-22 where, like, it's clearly too good and, like, removing a lot of things. But if you take it away, suddenly, like, things start looking kind of scary in the other direction. I don't know. Maybe you just have to take it away and then, like, ban problem cards from there. I don't know. Okay, after this, I want to quickly talk about the little bits of news that we have, because I think there's some stuff to hype up, and then we'll do a replay review, and then we'll play a few games. Wow, we've done 3 games in an hour? That never happens. Turbine feels like Atman 4 as the backup breaker in otherwise reg builds, or like Netrunner Eyes from old days. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that like Netrunner Eyes is like a comparison that I keep thinking about, and like, you know, Netrunner Eyes was a huge deal because 4 strength was a big... Yeah, it's not a new effect. I guess it just feels like it's much more efficient than other effects are. And I guess also the other thing to think about, I guess the other maybe perceptual thing, right? Well, so +2 is a bigger effect than +1 from Netrunner Eyes. And also, we sort of have 2 Yogs. We have a Barrier Yog and a Decoder Yog. Yeah, obviously, like, we don't have a break for 0, but like break multi-subs for 1 at strength 4 deals with every code gate in the format. Like every single code gate in the format that is relevant is 5 or less. I kind of want to just do some grinding here. Yeah, and Netrunner Eyes is choose a icebreaker at the start of a run. And Atman 4 costs 7. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe, you know, but maybe that is that like, oh, hey, there are, you know, the other tools I'm always thinking of is David. Yeah, I mean, Netrunner Eyes was like a damage instead of other stuff. Also, actually, I guess this list isn't running any viruses, right? I'd worry a little bit about just like Amakua getting out of control in some board states. Maybe being expendable was really healthy, though. Yeah, you know, it's like if there was a version of Turbine that was like, hey, spend power counters to boost all your breakers, I think that could be kind of interesting, right? Like if it was like the same effect, but it was like gated behind power counters, and it like said the duration of the run. If you want to really push it, duration of the turn, maybe. So I think that has some like usability issues. Oh, sick. We're getting joyrided again, but opponent's going to joyride on 0 credits again. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, you know, joyride has this problem where like if you can't get in, you're talking about Takobi. Oh, you're right. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That's very funny. I reinvented Takobi from first principles. Oh, bacterial. All right, well that's the game, folks. If Joyride was R&D or HQ, would that make it really strong? Would that make it busted strong or just strong? Oh, Stone Ship. Sick tech. Oh, man. That's interesting. So now I actually have to draw 3 punitives to make this land. Because they're going to have 7 cards in hand. And I draw 0. You think the deck's matchups? You think the deck actually has good matchups into Crim and Mulch, so you don't need it. Interesting. Okay. I guess we can put. Do we put all 7 in hand anyway? I guess we can, right? Do I want to discard anything here? I think Bust is Strong and also breaks Color Pie. I mean, at some point, Shaper's Color Pie can't be run R&D, right? Like, we've kind of if Criminal's Color Pie is making money, Anarch's Color Pie is busted cards, and Shaper's Color Pie is run R&D. Like, that's going to explain a little bit of why Shaper has historically done so bad relative to the other factions since like 2016, 2017. Maybe even earlier, honestly. Like, there would be some rogue Haley players, but, you know, the faction kind of hasn't existed outside of that. I don't care, let Shaper be bad. I mean, that's fair enough, fair enough. You're allowed to have... I'm not going to silence you on this channel, even if I think you're wrong. Hey, morning, Jai. Also, if people haven't watched, Jai did a live react to spoilers dropping stream, which I thought was quite fun. It wasn't an intentional live react to spoilers, it just kind of showed up. Okay, we're gonna just slowly start scoring here, I think. Opponent's on 1 credit. We'll just keep things safe for now. Can I do Fuji? Yeah, I could probably discard this. I don't need to discard this Fuji though, right? Like, there's no point to discarding it. Don't need this DRM. I don't really need the hedge fund. I could have maybe Hansei reviewed to get a little bit more credit push out of this. And I'm probably not firing this Rashida either. I've always considered Shaper as big rig, and when you can get that rig out too quick, Shaper is broken. It's interesting because I feel like big rig has like always been one of the words that like people kind of associate with Shaper, and I agree, like somehow it's like a thing that we all have, but at the same time I kind of feel like it's like the competitive Shaper decks never had that big of a rig. Like, to me, competitive Shaper decks were like Ottman Kate and like Pitchfork Haley, and like they would have like, there would be elements of the board they would build up. Maybe they were Proco, maybe they were Laguna Velasco districts, maybe they were, you know, prepaid voice pads. Oh, I could have also bounced them with the Vampy here. I think that would be lethal. No, it wouldn't be lethal, but... Not forgetting Boat Lat, eh? I guess Boat Lat is maybe a thing. It's always a little bit tricky for me to like talk about Boat Lat, right? But like, it's, you know, when people say big rig, they often mean like, oh yeah, when I have this like big engine, you know, like big rig to me often means stuff like oh yeah, I have like 6 different cards that combo, you know, it's I have my Yogg on a Dinosaurus, and I have an Egret, and I have like, it's like I've built my whole deck, and its whole goal is to go and like use like a 6-card combo to break ice, right? I have enough credits to go server 1, advance, right? And like, you could like a lot of the really competitive Shaper builds were, I'm going to actually run on a pretty minimal rig. I'm going to lean on clone chips or simul chips, and like using cards like Cyber Cypher and David, and Lady to like make, you know, your rig was actually like more limited use than the other factions in a lot of cases. But they always had the big rig. Like, you have Monolith in faction, you have Dinosaurus in faction, right? You have these tools that support going really big. So I don't know. Maybe my perception is wrong. It should be big. Is Rozeki a big card? Yeah, I think Rozeki probably is a big rig card. Arguably, right? Well, no. I guess no. Oh man, that's such an interesting question. We'll just boop at this game. Fundamental perspective, is Rozeki a big rig card? In Shaper, I think it is a big rig card. In like Anarch, like, this is one of those weird things where it's like the other factions use the, like, Turbine to me is a big rig card, right? It is a card that only does one thing, which is make your ice breaking better. Not do ice breaking in some particular way, it just makes things better. And so, in that respect, in a lot of the Shaper builds, Rozeki was a big rig card. You were playing it to support building a bigger and bigger rig. And then, but in Anarch and Crim, you were using Rozeki to say, you have to beat me. Like, I will inevitably get a lot of money. And, like, you have to do something before, but I, by being in Crim and Anarch, I actually have the tools to disrupt in the early game. And, like, what was my thinking? Because Crim and Anarch can disrupt in the early game, they use the Shaper late game tools actually more effectively when they're just kind of big rig late game things. B-Blum saying Shaper's identity is late game inevitability, Crim is prolonging the early game, and Anarch is the game phases don't exist. I kind of see that. I guess I also think back to, like, when I would play, like, Pancha Tantra Haley, which that is, I realize I shouldn't say that as like oh yeah, everyone knows what I mean when I talk about this. So let me quickly show one of these decks. So this is genuinely, I think, one of the most Shaper decks of all time. Actually, most of you probably do know what this is because you're all, like, Netrunner Poison Brain like me, but for those of you who maybe don't, this deck was trying to use Pancha Tantra, oh, that's kind of tiny, which says, once per turn, when you encounter a piece of ice, you may have it gain one subtype of your choice that is not Sentry, Code Gate, or Barrier. So it can't be one of those three, it has to be something else. This was allotted to, at some point, say only subtypes on ice. Eric, that's up next. We've got Sharpshooter and Deus Ex as, like, your main breakers. And, like, I think, like, later versions of this deck would, like, drop the Atmans completely. Or, like, sometimes there was board states where the Corp had 3 different strengths of ice, and so your ability to break ice was limited by the number of Deus Ex and Sharpshooters you could put in your deck. I think, like, if we keep going, I feel like I remember, yeah, it's like, oh, you go down to just Inti. I guess you do some inevitability, but, like, I remember playing versions of this deck that were like, yeah, once I levy, I have 6 more ice I can break, and then I'm done for the game. And, Pitchfork Haley didn't quite have that, but it's, yeah. Gingerbread is, like, it's funny. Gingerbread's still such a bad breaker that you shouldn't run it in this deck. It's actually just better to use Sharpshooter Deus Ex. I don't think you ever really installed the Atman too often. Yeah. I don't know. This deck was wild. But I guess to me, like, yes, Shaper does have inevitability. Oh yeah, Book of Kate was also a very fundamental Shaper type deck. Frank Feta, I don't know if this would be 2016. By 2016, Flashpoint was out, so I think we're no longer at the point where Atman 4 beats everything. Yeah, this thing has 3 levies. So, like, I remember playing versions of this deck where, like, I did just cut most of the other breakers. Maybe I was still playing Inti, and you'd be like, oh yeah, like, each cycle through my deck, I get to break 6 ice, credit positive, right? Deus Ex and sharpshooters each break an ice. I think you could play a version of this deck with 3 sharpshooter and a Deus Ex. And yeah, so 6. Yeah, this can go through 18 ice and usually is making money as it goes through. Yeah, so when I say, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off of the clone chips. This deck also set up like instantly because you could use Bazaar. So whenever you install a piece of hardware from your grip, you may install another copy of hardware from your grip. And Replicated, whenever you install a piece of hardware, you can search your deck for a copy of that hardware and put it into your hand. So you would like, you would just vomit out your whole rig in like very, very fast. Like if you didn't lose by turn 5, the game was kind of over. This deck was broken and gross and also pretty bad. Like this deck won some stuff, and then people figured out like NBN actually could just destroy it, and it just kind of disappeared. But at least from what I remember. Yeah, that's got to be the most famous one. Yeah, this is the one we were just looking at. Okay, this ran a Gordian Blade and an Ottman. 3 sharpshooters, 2 Deus Ex, a Corroder. Yeah, so you got some stuff. But yeah. Okay, what was my point? So to me, like, I think Z-Bag said, I guess Shaper is more defined as skateboard tricks, Shaper bullshit, haha. I like to, so, you know, factions should have multiple kind of IDs, right? Like, Anarch can't just be, I blow shit up. That's not the only thing they do. And I think there's like the, oh yeah, sabotage is a way to express Anarch interaction and violence and energy, in addition to ice destruction like Parasite or the like self-mill stuff. Like Anarch has a bunch of these kind of different things. A lot of their flavors about saying, hey Corp, you're trying to set up this static endgame situation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to disrupt that. I'm going to mill cards off your deck. I'm going to blow up your board. I'm going to like do all of these different things. And Criminal has had Denial. They've had like Elongate the Earth. They've had Derez. They've had Bypass. So they've got these like, and yeah, these all kind of cohere into this like extend the early game. And I think something I feel like that's happened with Shaper is they've been kind of boulderized to be the R&D and how big of a program can I install kind of faction. And I think the times that I have been most invested in Shaper has been when they are not, how many times can I install? It's the, can I get the right tool to solve this problem for a limited amount of time, and make sure that limited amount of time is enough time. So like I think Unity is maybe a card here where it's like, Unity is a definitionally big rig card. It is really bad in the early game and then very efficient once you get 3 breakers out, or maybe even more. And I would, like, the card that defines Shaper to me more than Unity is Cyber Cypher, which I should probably look up just for those of you who were not playing in 2013. My goodness. Yeah, got that year right? So this says, when you install Cyber Cypher, choose a server. Cyber Cypher can only be used during a run on that server. Like, to me, that's super cool. Like, 2 costs, so 4 base strength. Like, this is above curve on the server you're breaking, but not very good after it. Or like doesn't help you. You have to find multiple of these. So like there's this like real cost trade-off flexibility thing. God, you having to be like, let me look up these cards because they're so old, it's aging me. Oh my god. I scrapped a video of like what are the most powerful cards of all time in Netrunner, in part because I recorded it and then like 3 days later was like, I don't like my list. It's wrong. But also because I was like, oh, actually to do this properly, this needs to be an hour-long video of me talking about 10 cards. Just describing why is cerebral imaging busted? Actually, cerebral imaging didn't make my list initially, which is honestly a big part of why I canned it, because This ID was absolutely wild. And like I feel like this is one of those cards where like people would look at now and go, oh yeah, of course, this is wild. After Worlds, Fa was like, I want to play more, so I handed the 2x Sai Kate and loaded up Boot Camp. I don't remember what the Boot Camp deck is. Is that? I mean, that sounds like a Gagarin deck. But I don't remember what that is. Anyways, I should do some quick plugs, as I've been saying I would do for while Ben gets back to me with what Boot Camp is, because that is a deck that has passed me by. Blue Sun Boot Camp. The deck still doesn't ring a bell, but it makes more sense to me. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up on another monitor. Oh, I see a Kiv video of Blue Sun Boot Camp Glacier. If someone could link in stream, yeah. Okay. Anyway, cards are spoiled. We don't have a release date yet, which is a bummer. What was I thinking? And once we do, I'll put out a call for daily cast guests. I really enjoyed doing daily cast last year. And I would love to have people on again for this one. So daily cast, for those of you who don't remember, I should move my head so I'm not on top of the spoilers. The spoilers are way more important than my face. Okay, sorry. Daily cast was just a hour-ish breakdown stream after each day of spoiler season, whenever there were cards out, which last year was fortunately every single day. And we just have 2 or 3 guests on. And I'm really trying to get people who, while I love and do want to have people that are like big voices and names in the community, I really also want people who don't have big names, voices in the community to talk about the cards, because I think there's so much about Netrunner to talk about with a lot of these cards. And I'm kind of, it's always a lot of fun to hear. The other thing I'm trying to do, and I'm going to figure out if this is technically possible for me, is to, like, the weekend after the release, do a Saturday and Sunday stream where on one day I go through, like, all the runner cards, and then on Sunday go through all the Saturday cards and do sort of a call-in show of Trash or Busto of all of the cards. And my goal will be, like, to figure out how I can do a call-in, how I can have 2 or 3 people on, talk about a card, cycle one of them out, and keep going. But Jai, you should plug your YouTube channel in this chat if you can, because your VODs are up on your YouTube channel. I had a very hard time Googling it. Maybe it's more Googleable now, but I want to catch those VODs, and I do want to do some Fight Club 2 coverage. This week was not a great week. Next week may not be a great one for me, but hopefully I'll be catching up with some more time soon as well. We also have Burner to talk about. This is a Shaper Run event, 3 influence, Run HQ, if successful. Reveal 3 cards in HQ at random, add 2 of the revealed cards to the top and or bottom of R&D. I think this card is, I think it's cool that they spoiled this one, because I think it's so difficult to evaluate, and I've seen, like, hugely divergent takes. I think this is going to end up in most Shaper decks. I don't know if it's going to define how you play against Shaper, but I think it's going to be a tool in that proverbial toolbox for Shaper that they can use to try and manage some of their mid-game and early-game weakness. And I think, like, if your opponent starts a little bit slow, being able, if you can like kill the Rashida and then burn her two pieces of like two dead-ish cards back onto the top of their deck, you've probably bought yourself like a turn of like recovery time. Yeah, it's not like an archetype definer. You can't build around it. Although one cost for an event is extremely costly in deck building. So Theo, just very quickly, I want to like show something where, so this is my like Hermes Arasana list. Oh, thank you, Jai, for posting that. I will try and make a link and put this in the description of the video as well when I'm done. Hey, Kat. So, like, if I look at this list, yeah, this is also kind of a bad in-faction legwork, top engine and go get it. Or maybe you say, hey, I'll put two non-agendas on top of R&D and run HQ twice, and, like, you can figure things out. I do, like, if it said 4 cards, I think we would all agree it was busted, and it's like, okay, is the 3 to 4 diversion, like, the thing that makes a difference? But I look at this and I'm like, okay, this is 45 cards. Can I find 2 cards I would want to cut from this style of list? And it's like, okay, let's pretend I'm not playing Debbie. Let's pretend I'm spending 2 influence in a more sensible way. Yeah, I actually think this card's probably better than a prepaid voice pad. I think this card's maybe better than the UAVs. You know, maybe you play with these numbers. And, like, maybe 3 Joyrides is wrong. Maybe I can play 2 Joyrides because one's going to do enough, and Burner is, like, in a good spot. Yeah, I think Burner's going to see quite a bit of play. It's not going to be a faction defining or archetype defining. It doesn't like make you say, oh, I can play prepaid voice pad Shaper because Burner exists, and I get to save the 2 influence on legwork now. Though maybe saving that 2 influence on legwork so that you can more easily fit the 9 influence on 3 copies of Bravado. Maybe that is like actually what the deck needs. I haven't looked at like a run event Shaper in quite a bit. And yeah, not trashing makes it very different from Anarch Disruption, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not going to speculate too much about what these other cards say. I think it's not fun for me to do so because I do know what these cards say. So when I have the first daily casts, I'll have guests on and we can listen to what they've got to say. I've seen some really interesting reconstructions, and it's cool how much of an art people have turned it into to decompose these. But there is another very important announcement to make. Oh, cool. And B. Kelly literally messaging me how the bug happened. That's very cool. Thanks, Kelly. And B. Kelly. Okay, let's go and find this link. And Eric, you can post it in the chat if you're still here. Let me post this here, and I should probably everyone should remind me to plug this every single damn stream because I'm running one of these events and I want to get a good chunk of people. So this is the North American Netrunner Players Circuit. This is going to be a series of, what is this? 9 events in the US this year that have some sense of kind of shared prize pool and stakes. Am I in the way of anyone? Oh, I am in the way of Ottawa. Sorry, let me move myself down here. Well, I should say Not Again actually has been doing the bulk of the organizing for the one in Boston. That is coming up actually pretty soon. That's going to be the 25th and 26th of May. Oh, yes, and it's not just the US, it is also Canada. Thank you, Eric. We have room for, quite a crowd, at least 60 people, I think. The goal is I want to try and my goal is to make sure that this event can hit at least 40 people. There's going to be unique prizing exclusive to the North American Netrunner Players Circuit. Where there's also going to be, and there's not that many details about it right now, there's going to be prizing based on how well you do across the whole sequence of these 9 events, with not the expectation that everyone's going to be able to go to 9, but that, if you can go to a couple of these and do well, you should earn some extra prizes and rewards. And so there'll be an end of season kind of recap prizing. I think some details on that are still to come. But we've got Vancouver, Toronto, Boston, the Twin Cities, Philly, SF, Seattle, Montreal, and LA. And Eric is saying that they're just going to run these 9 this year, but next year they'll be taking open applications to run more of these. Yeah, I think we've got, this is a very fun series of events. I'm gonna try and make all 3 of the ones here. I'm gonna see if I can make Off the Grid and I'm gonna also see if I can make some of the Seattle ones, the one in Seattle. So I'm excited to go to a bunch of these. I think it's really cool to see people organize and try and elevate some of the stakes and levels of some of the events. And I really hope this succeeds. I'm helping run one of these events, and I really hope people do come out. I think in Boston, one of the things we're going to do is we're planning on 2 days. On day 2, we're going to run a bunch of side events. We're probably going to run a draft cube. I started working again a little bit today on my pack draft cube rather than just doing pack drafting. So I'm hoping I can have that ready and playable there. And if not, we're going to have some more wild cubes and stuff. So yeah, I would love to try and get as many people as possible out to the Boston event. I think it's a great area. If you need, help with lodging, travel plans, there is a Discord for New England. We will make a channel for this event, and we will be more than happy to help you find lodging, help with travel plans, and things to do in the area. So please do check it out. And maybe you can't make Boston, and maybe I'll forgive you for that. But if you can make it to the ones you can, I think these events are going to be a ton of fun. And there's a lot of Eric has been putting in a ton of effort. This site is I know going to have more details and more rewards and things. So I'm stay tuned, but I'm glad this is out here and I can finally talk about it. So yeah, that's where we are. Okay, let's do some other stuff that I wanted to do. So let's go and watch this replay between me and a different Eric. This is, I guess, also a little bit of a plug of a video I just put out. Maybe I will go pull that up really quickly, because there's nothing like shilling your own stuff on your own stream to people already watching your things. But some of you are watching this later on the VOD, and maybe you haven't seen this video recommended to you. Which, I think, well, I want to shout it out for a couple reasons. One, I think I did some, okay. We're going to get through the ad, and then I hope this works. Okay, cool. 2 ads, jeez, how does YouTube even function? So I did a video on Kalakana Zoo with Jackmate, who was very nice to come on, give me a little bit over an hour of his time to talk about Kalakana Zoo, the calibration testing of super heavy logistics deck, and I thought it came out pretty well. And the other, there's one thing that I did. Where was it? There's one little editing thing that didn't actually take me that long, but I thought was a lot of fun. Maybe I don't find it. Okay, don't worry about it. But yeah, I thought this was like a really nice discussion. We could actually go through 3 whole games, so pretty good content for an hour, and we talk a lot about different lines. So Mr. Neon Static, Canister himself, wanted to play some games earlier today, and I was like, hey, why not? And he ended up taking this game. And no shade on Eric, but I was a little bit surprised by this result. I'm not the best Zaya player, and this had some slight questionable changes to it. Oh, maybe I should turn off the... Oh, that's actually a weird one. Okay, so we're going to have to hide ice labels. Great. In replay reviews. Good to know. Okay. So, I'm playing Ian's Zaya deck, approximately, with like a couple bad swaps. And so I know I'm playing up against Calicon Zoo. I know that like the way I'm probably going to lose this game is fast advance out of a remote. So trying to set up somewhat quickly is good. So I'm thinking, okay, let's just try and do a little bit of poke, a little bit of econ reduction. And I'm fairly happy here. This feels like it should be a Bravado server 1, Pinhole server 1. Oh, right. This is a drafter, which does surprise me a little bit. You know, Jackmade talks about how we switched over to drafter because it was a good face check penalty. I don't think I would ever expect drafter on the remote. And I go and trash the Regolith as well, which I think is right. I think my mistake is maybe not running R&D this turn. Yeah, I think, okay, looking at this turn now, my turn's supposed to be run R&D, install daily casts. But instead I go cast Wake Implant. The Wake Implant install in particular is quite suspicious because I have literally no way of going towards HQ here. And I could have gotten a free access, which comes in with a credit, right? And then what do I lose in tempo? I discard the class act, right? I think that's fine. I actually am up 2 credits from where I am right now, effectively. So I'm actually more able to apply the pressure here. Turns out it was a Whoredom, so I could have, like, made it. But, you know, at this point, I'm like, you know what? I feel okay. The remote is going to be very difficult to push out of. And so I can actually just take some time off. Career Fair Twinning, install Hermes. Like, I can wait for Eric to do some pushes. This is, like, actually a very obvious mistake that I'm kicking myself for. I'm like, oh, I have the Twinning down. So I should get Chesney down so I can get it going, but I have no ways to charge in hand. And like just drawing more is still, I think, correct here. Like Boomerang, Bioband's R&D is probably just a better play. I think I'm like, oh, I can Chesney Pinhole and maybe Trash, but if this is an agenda, I don't like this play very much. So it's tricky because now I'm like, okay, the plays I'm thinking about, I'm now several turns behind. Maybe I would still have this Wake Implant in hand, so I could buy a band, install the Wake, draw 2 because my hand's a little bit dead. And Eric is playing like a style that you don't often see in the calibration testing oblists, and I think we're probably going to go back and look at his hand from the other side quickly. But, you know, I'm like, okay, it's like turn 7, it's 0-0, it's probably good for me on net. This is a play that I go back and I think, what the heck was I thinking here? I think my thinking is, oh, if I Bravado R&D, I can then Boomerang through the Whoredom. But that's just not, like, what ice can he not res here? This is going to be one of Ice Wall, Border Control, Sandstone, and Magnet. Or a Thimble Rig. All of which can res and keep me out for free. Or for very little cost. I think going Boomerang, Drafter, Bravado the Remote is actually probably a more plausible threat. Whereas this just ends up costing me a ton. Oh yeah, we do some walking back because... Oh no, we don't. That's next turn. Wait, what? Oh yeah, this is a weird turn from Eric. But I guess he's... Oh right, he's just trying to get up some money. That's his thinking here. Okay, so I draw. I'm like pretty certain that's an agenda on the remote, but I just don't really have the tools to go after it. Here I play the Biobands correctly. I have breakers down. I don't have much money coming in, which is definitely a concern here. Here we end up redoing this turn so that he can get the Dracana on my turn. Score the Azef, eat the Ice Wall to get the Spin Doctor, and hits the Boomerang out of my hand, which is not great. We talk through this turn. We redo this so that I don't get the Kurapira counter. Well, I have just enough credits to get in. I see two. I then say, okay, I will use Docklands Pass Twinning. I'll see 4 cards that will recover a lot of the econ I get here. Missing the Rashida stinks, but seeing the Hostile then lets me bounce the Atlas, which presumably is what I see in hand. Which, you know, that's the very cool thing about this deck, is just like how well it kind of abuses Hermes. I'm kind of wondering if I'm supposed to draw there instead of click for a credit, because next turn I can just run back into HQ and see 2 again and kind of charge up. Eric goes install / and burn to Kana, and then Winchester comes in and really ruins my day. When I talk about making things worse, this is one of the things I make worse, is I'm playing Revolver instead of Carmen. This is just wrong. It's fun. I like Revolver as a card, but only being able to break 7 Sentry subroutines the entire game is no good. Oh, I have the MU on the wrong side. There we go. Now, maybe I'm actually supposed to run HQ this turn. It's not great, though. I don't know that killing this Ducana actually makes sense anymore. It does limit the value Eric's going to get, but he's not going to score, most likely. I guess I know he has an Audacity in hand. Oh, this is a fix. So, I think actually what I'm probably supposed to do here is just inside job, run HQ. Because I'm probably not... I don't need to save it for the remote, really. Just trying to get some R&D digs going. And this is the same as for a credit, so why not, right? Okay. So bypass the Sandstone, break it. And then I see 5 cards deep into R&D. From my perspective, there's 20 cards in R&D and 4 agenda points gone. So there's, and I know there's a, well, I'm pretty confident there's a slash and burn in there. Server 1 could be an agenda, but I think it's unlikely to be an agenda with Eric at only 3 credits. So this is, you know, there's very likely 7 agendas in R&D, so they're about 1 in 3 cards, and I'm going to see 5. So I actually have, like, about 50-50 of winning, I'm going to say. I don't know that that math is exactly right, but... instead I see all ice. I think actually what I'm probably supposed to do is run server 1 here. I don't think I do. Because yes, it's giving up revolver counters, but stopping a Rashida is a game-winning difference here, where I have twice as many turns. I think this ice install doesn't really make any sense, but that's all right. Inside job. Have to really pay through the nose for revolver. I guess wrong on which card is the agenda. I don't know why I'm playing this Bioroids. Like I guess it gets the cast Chesney twinning, so that's like something. I guess that, yeah, so that cast went down for, well, it went down for 2 credits really. Okay, so I run the Spin Doctor to get it back in, and now I can inside job HQ, I guess makes some sense here. I wonder if I'm supposed to inside job R&D instead. And just try and see. Yeah, I think actually that's probably the game-winning difference. Because Eric, I know, has the Audacity in hand, and I think just top decks the Hostile here. So there's a couple of key mistakes I've made. And like, the early mistakes are always going to be the most impactful in the final outcome of the game, right? So, you know, very small mistake is not running R&D on this turn after the drafter res. You know, installing the Awaken Plant could have waited a turn. Hey, that's no mun. So no, I don't think that's actually the case here. Because so let's see. Let me double check that. But what I believe happened, yeah, this Spin Doctor is fetched off of a Ozef score. And I thought was gone by the time we do a slash and burn. I guess it wasn't. No, you're right. You're right. Did I really mess that up? That's a very good piece of feedback if I did. Yeah, it did. You're right. So I gave up 2 points by leaving that Spin Doctor on the board. And I guess I give up 2 points again. Yeah, no, you're totally right. You're totally right. That's someone. That's my bad. And there was a couple of like just wrong choices on the class act where I either was too greedy for late game tempo or didn't recognize the didn't do a good job of recognizing my needs in the moment. And then like running the wrong server on the final turn was a big deal as well. Yeah, and so, okay, so the argument is instead of Bioroids, which really didn't do anything here, right? Well, what it did was charge the twinning, but I think I had, did I have to, no, I didn't have the Pinnacle Throwing in hand, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the Spin Doctors were worth 4 points for a canister here, which is a very big deal. Yeah, okay, cool. That's actually some really good feedback. Thanks, that's no more than Jai. Yeah, I definitely feel a little bit unlucky that I missed on such a deep dig on R&D, but in retrospect, I made bigger play mistakes. I think the early game tempo ones were the deciders in a lot of ways. But the Spin Doctors being left alive is definitely some very good feedback. I'm kind of curious, has anything been published that I'm interested in playing in Standard for HB lately? I'm assuming this is just classic PD. Escape Nest probably beats everything. Augustus had a very good back-to-back weekends. I don't know if you're still here or if you've finally gone to bed, but Gang to Asa on stream on CBI, Reg PD. Not sure what that is. Yet another PD volume. Who's counting? This deck won't die. Reg PD, Bost PD. I bet there's an Oppo Asa PD deck out there. Maybe that's what we'll build. Bed at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. Well, for Augustus, 9 p.m. on my Saturday would be 3 a.m. on their Saturday. But, you know, apparently you can't stop Augustus, so... Okay, we're gonna go Asa group. We're gonna play ScapeNet. Yeah, I know Barthul is a deck. It is not one that I particularly want to put time into playing. Just putting all my cards out on the table. But it's just a card I have very little interest in running. Okay, so we're gonna do Oppo research. We're probably also gonna do Gaslights. We're gonna do Greasing the Palms. Maybe we're gonna do Greasing the Palms instead of Hedge Funds. And we're gonna do Fully Operationals. That we're just gonna magically keep those in our hand. I kind of like the idea of MCA, Bioroid Tracker. I guess my question is, like, Managarm I think is also just like very clearly pretty good against the mulch decks. Which then makes me say, okay, if I can fast advance three things, should I be doing Former Carry, Skunkworks, Stegodon, and then Ikawas? Now the problem is I don't have a lot of econ slots in here, right? Or I don't have a lot of econ in here at the moment. But I think we can fix that, right? So Maryland Campaign, Rashida Jaheim, Spin Doctor. And now I have 8 more slots for ice. 11 ice is not enough. We're going to cut the Scape Net, because while it's good, it's not fun. If we're on Stego Funhouse, Lock is surely the neck piece. Oh, I also forgot my other favorite card, which is Wage Workers. Probably also means I want Bionic Labor. Okay, maybe we're not on Stegodon Forma Carry. Because it eats up 6 card slots that could be spent in other places. Okay, 9 ice is still not enough, so I'm going to have to cut cards here. I'm going to cut a Maryland. Stego Ping B1001 is way cooler. I mean, actually, that does sound kind of sick. Okay, so it's just 2 border controls. Gatekeeper. Magnet. Oh, no, actually I think it's probably Bran over Ablative. Oh my goodness, I need to get so much more ice in here. Can I ask what the tag punishment is in this deck? That's a great question. It's greasing the palm and nothing else. So that probably would need to change, right? So we need to spend influence on tag punishment. But maybe Oppo Research is just the wrong card here. Okay, this gives me back influence and slots. We can do a void. Do I just want to go like old school, like toll booth? I think Mick does the same job in faction. I don't think we need the magnets though. Or I don't think we need all the magnets. I kind of like a singleton on cell. I feel like a lot of the decks in the meta are playing it really close to the bone on Sentry Breakers, and on cell is like okay. We have yeah, we don't have any money in this list. You're going back to Reg Asa Sandstones with my World's teammates played with the last two influence? Yeah, that makes some sense. No, let's okay. We're gonna cancel this deck and we're gonna start back over. We're gonna go back to Tag Asa. Yeah, it does need a virus. That's a good point. Okay, so if we're doing Tag Asa, we're just committed to the Ikawa. Okay, let's build. Oh yeah, Tranquility is a very good money ad. Okay. So we're not going to try and go for 1 billion Asa robots, I think. I think that just doesn't functionally work with the current existing card pool. Okay, this is going to be our 9 agenda suite. Then we're going to run the 3 Forma carries. We're going to run Manic Arms. And then we're going to run Oppo Research. So I don't mean like, we're not going to go like 5 servers wide. We're going to go like 3 servers wide. Put in an ET at the end of the line. Then some Hypoxias. Then change it to Thule. I mean, that probably is the direction we're inevitably going, right? What does tag punishment look like in this format? Can we just market forces? 3 influence from market forces. 2 spin doctors. No way this goes wrong, right? Actually, you know what? No way this goes wrong. We'll put in 2 restores. Thule's the better Oppo HB deck anyway, no cap. Yeah, I believe that. Okay, we're gonna not play Wage Workers because I think genuinely we don't have the slots. Brand, MIC, Gatekeeper, Drafter. So we've got 6, 11, 8. I mean, no. That's not how math works. 13, 10. Yeah, the problem is that Wage Workers and Greasing the Palm don't really work together. We would need 2 like, genuinely, there's like a world where I think you could play an operation that says click place an advancement counter on a card in this style of list. Or you could do like the subliminal biotic labor greasing the palm stuff, which is a 4-card combo to score a 5/3 from hand. No, Yeah, a 5/3 from hand. If they have a tag. Which maybe that's like what we should... Okay, wait. So if we want to set up for this combo, to score a 5/3 off the board when the runner is tagged, it is Biotic Labor, Greasing the Palm, Advancing, spending a tag, Subliminal, or a red level clearance. Okay. We're going to do this not in ASA. We're going to do this in PD. So it's going to be worse than what we could play. But we're going to do it anyway. Okay, so the combo is that we're going to have a Wage Workers on the board, protected by some ice. We're going to run a full suite of Biotic Labors. We're going to run like 2 Greasing the Palms. Actually, we'll run a full 3 Greasing the Palm because it's an econ card. We're going to run Oppo Research. Maybe we'll run like 2 Bioroid trackers, but that'll be some flex slots, right? And we need to run 1 Subliminal, maybe 3 red level clearances because we're actually a combo deck. We'll run Off-World Offices. We can score those out of hand. We'll run Vitruviuses. We can score these out of hand. And we'll run Ikawas. Actually, we'll cut a Vitruvius for a Luminal. That just seems better. Okay. So we're gonna, and we're probably gonna want Tranquility Home Grid because it's just a very good card. We're gonna want Rashida Jaheim because it's a very good card. We're gonna want Spin Doctor so that we can kind of reset our combo. This is not a flop deck though. That's no one. That's the thing. This is a single remote combo deck, and we're just gonna have our Wage Workers functioning as a combo piece. So what we actually want, I think, is... Okay. Well, I'm going to put in my favorite card from the set, Vovo Azzetti. Maybe my second favorite card from the set. My viruses probably do need to be in there. Thank you. That's a good shout. We're Upgrade City over here. And I get 8 ice. That is not enough ice. Let's... Maybe I can get away with 2 Bionic Labor and just go for big hunky ice. Chonky ice, that's the word. Do I want border controls? Let's hold on the border controls for a moment. Hedge funds probably need to go in there, as do no free lunch. Not no free lunches. Your digital life. Okay, so we're way over card slots here. Is your digital life actually that good econ? I guess maybe it's better than the hedge funds. Maybe I don't need 3 RLCs. This is still only 5 ice. But what if this in sports? Maybe that's right. Okay. So I think I still want relatively hefty ice because I want the runner to go kind of broke going through here. Okay, let's look at... So, if we're doing this, we're cutting the Vovos. Cut down the Tranquility Home Grids. We'll put in... Turning Biotic to HQ seems pretty important, this plan. I'm hoping we can just get some chonkers here and kind of deal with it. Oppo Sports is the gateway drug to Thule. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. What's the ice I want here? Okay, you know what? We're making a meme deck. Let's meme it up. Let's go full in the meme. What's it? S harmonic. Oh no, why would I want 3 blue? Okay. Gatekeeper is just also quite good still. Very code gate heavy. Echo just does so badly into this cleaver meta. This Thule deck has 2 ice, by the way. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, this is just a pile. Yeah, this Echo doesn't make any sense here. Can we just play Eli's? Oh no, we play Hoggins. Hoggins is genuinely a little bit annoying. Hoggins is like actually, I think exactly the ice we want here. So I think we can cut a wave and go to 2 gatekeepers. Alright, this is going to be an unmitigated disaster. Completely unmitigated disaster. We're going to play 1 game, and I'm probably going to call it a night. But, who knows, maybe we'll get a second one. Surely 2-wave 1 bloop is better than the other way around. No, because I want to be able to tutor the bloop, and then already have one on the board, right? But no, you're right. Only bad ideas .deck. Hold on. I gotta fix this. There we go. Alright, let's see what Remedy is up to. Zaya. I suspect this is going to be very bad for us. I think I want an engine piece here. Good, we drew into engine pieces. We definitely mulliganed from into a worse hand. So we're gonna go draw, hedge fund. The virus and the new remote. See if we can tilt our opponent. Alright. Jailbreak in Zaya. This is a 43 card Zaya. Alright. Don't mind that sequence of play for me. I think it was pretty bad for them, but that's how it goes. One person's good fortune is another one's bad, I guess. Okay. We're going to go and see the card we've already... Oh, no, I clicked to draw, so this is a new card for them. It's probably not a Wage Workers, but maybe it is. Are we going to run back and trash a Wage Workers? No. Okay. Well, this is just getting a little bit silly, so we're just going to do this. And I might just next turn play a very expensive Seamless Launch. Gatekeeper does seem good here. So maybe I don't want to shuffle agendas back. Yeah, I think I don't shuffle agendas back. Because I can just go YDL, install Wage, install Rashida, Subliminal if I really want all the cards in my hand. Seems okay. Opponents missed a couple of slightly more accurate lines, like Jailbreaking HQ turn 1 would have been good. Seamless is surely a bargain at any price. I could imagine there'd be credits for... Oh, that Ikawa steal, though. Okay, we have the red level. We can do a ton of stuff here. Oh, and Big Oppo is turned on, too. Big Oppo, Big Oppo. Okay. I can play 3 events. So what we're going to do is I'm going to install a non-agenda card from hand in a new remote. Going to gain a click. Res Spin Doctor. We still didn't find it. We're going to play your Digital Life. I've got... Oops. Shoot. Misclicked. Oops. Undo. Click. That's what I meant to do. Sorry. We install the wage workers in a new remote. We res the wage workers. Now I greasing the palm the Rashida into a new remote. I still have 1 click left. I think I'm gonna pulse R&D and drop a Tranquility Home Grid. Now, arguably resing this wage workers is actually incorrect, and I'm supposed to have not taken 1 fewer clicks, made my opponent guess the Rashida, guess the wage workers. Oh, I'm sorry, my picture is in the wrong place. There we go. Thanks, Chris. I guess we only have 2 in the deck, so we're not actually unlucky yet. Unity coming down is not great. Oh, okay. They've seen all 3, so we'll draw 2 cards here. Okay, let's res Rashida. And trash this asset, draw 3 cards. We're going to hopefully find another piece of ice. Okay. So this turn is going to be a weird one to sequence. Okay, so it's going to be Biotic Labor, Triple Advance, Score... oh, I thought we'd have an extra click here. And then we... Big Oppo. Do I discard both agendas, or do I just say there's no way they have 2 legworks in hand? We're going to say they don't have 2 legworks in hand. So, Chris, I'm actually intentionally not playing the Subliminal here, because next turn I can fast advance the Ikawa here. By not playing the Subliminal, but they were going to run this turn. And then I'm going to draw off that so I can maybe do a safety discard. Okay. Okay, sports is gonna sports. Oh wait, I discarded I played the greasing, so I don't have diddly squat. Oh, I'm a dummy. Okay. We're gonna go biotic labor. Server 2. Advance, 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 advance. Pop the spin doctor. Grab a biotic labor and the greasing the palm because hope springs eternal. We're gonna score the off-world office. We're gonna sports medal. Draw 2 cards. Yep, 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 yep. Okay. We're gonna discard Digital Life. Sports gonna sports. Yep. We lose on all but 2 cards here. GG. Okay, that game took 10 minutes. We could do another one. Conceivably, the Vitruvius was correct there to score for the counter. Yeah, that is also true. We had lots of money. Yeah. Forgetting that the grease in the palm was an important part of our... Well, no, I played the grease in the palm before I drew the bad combo. So, it's kind of okay. But yeah, the Vitruvius counter would probably be correct. Because then if I do draw into the bio... I can like leave one biotic in the bin, shuffle back the greasing, and the biotic, and probably be okay. Or not probably, but potentially have a chance. Or even just save the... Because I would still have 1 biotic and 2 greasing, so if I draw 1, I just try and get the other. So... but yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. This is going to be for sure the last game because apparently my allergies are making me a little bit tired, but it's still been a good, 2.5-ish hours, and I think we covered some good topics. Once again, you should go and play at the North American Netrunner Player Circuit, the NANPC. We've got 9 events coming up this year. Boston, Philly, Montreal, Toronto, Minneapolis, Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, and San Diego, in no particular order, just as I read them off the map. Rebellion Without Rehearsal was announced. If you're keep an eye out, I will hopefully, as soon as they announce the date, have a sign-up sheet for coming on for Daily Cast so that you can talk with me and other guests about the cards that were spoiled that day, and you can help and join the speculation of whether this is a corporate hostage, and whether this is a double or a triple or maybe a quadruple. A corp quadruple I think could be a lot of fun in HB. And yeah, keep an eye out for that. So I think, yeah, it's interesting because we're like, I don't know of any big events coming up. I do want to make a post Worlds or like a end of season. What happened? What was the trajectory of the meta? And like what kind of stories were there from the meta? So if that's something you have some interest in and knowledge of, I would love to get in touch and chat. This is actually probably an okay hand. Okay, we're gonna go Pulse HQ. And I'm not gonna res the wage workers this turn because I want to try and get things going. Hey, Andre, shilling out the big bucks over here. Yeah, I went to pull up my YouTube video just to show people. I was like, oh god, I'm not logged in on this account. This is terrible. How do people do this? Okay, I can probably let them see here. I hope the Patreons are paying for that YouTube Premium. I kind of justify it to myself because it's like my main streaming service, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Audacity is just way better than Oppo greasing the palm. Like, it does the same job, but instead of being a 2-card combo, it's a 1-card combo. Audacity Sports is sick. I am gonna res this pulse. Oh, I guess I shouldn't, but because now I don't have enough money to actually protect my wage workers. Oops. Oh, they spent the click to see a single. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, that's a good point, Andre. Maybe something I should emphasize. Like, yeah, it's like I don't. I forget what I should. If I have this somewhere, but like my earnings. I'll do this in a minute. Okay. We'll just click for 4. Well, such as they are. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Where are my stats? It's something like over half of my revenue is coming from YouTube subscription or YouTube Premium people, even though they make up like 2 to 5%, or like, you know, it's like 5% of the user base or whatever, but they account for almost all of the money that I make off of the channel. Like, it's a huge difference. Ooh, an early shibboleth. Ooh, it's no fun getting doofed. But yeah, like I forget exactly. Like, YouTube actually splits it somewhat generously for YouTube. All right, so Wage Workers is now paid for its res cost. I've not done much more yet. Double greasing the palm does mean I could probably be a little more aggressive. Andre, this is a very silly deck. We started with Augustus's punitive Ag Infusion deck and just kind of tore through JNet. Then we talked about the NA NPC, which I'm a little bit sad came out on Friday, so it missed your stream. But, you know, there's always next week's news. Talked briefly about the spoilers, and then I was going to try and make Oppo Asa, and it very quickly just became Oppo Sports because we didn't have enough time for all that stuff. Wow, my virus doing some work here. Let's click for 3 and hedge fund. I'm sorry, not sorry. I suggested the Oppo HB idea. Yeah. I kind of do. So, to the CO that I went to, where I went 3-0 with Lou and 0-3 with Asa, I'm kicking myself because I played the very silly Asa I made a couple weeks ago instead of tuning it, which I could see a world where MCA Bioroid Asa is okay into Lou because it's a fairly click intensive deck. But that's a bummer. Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, it wasn't up at the time as well, so maybe you can have Eric come on another time and plug it some more. But I will definitely be trying to get out to the Boston event, and I'm going to be doing everything I can to make it out to the Montreal event. Hey, Tak. I might do some more. Ooh, okay. Sure. Can we go New remote. New remote. New remote. Credit. Should be September. Cool. I will do my best to keep September open. Let's see. What was I actually thinking, though? Oh, I want to start doing a couple more weekend streams that are a little more project-y, because I'm trying to, like... No, sir. You don't just slam a revolt... Oh, I guess maybe the bloop was on the top of the deck. Okay, okay, okay. I think the interesting part of greasing with wage workers, you can try to combo with biotic and like audacity to score in funny ways. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good shout. Getting smoked a little here. Oh, hey, thanks for the game, Glenn. Oh, they don't have all the credits they need because they installed Bones. Oh, yeah, let's go. Yeah, Oppo was... So, you miss... I missed that if I had drawn... So, the goal of this deck is if I can get the runner to stay tagged, I can use Greasing the Palm, Subliminal Messaging, and Biotic Labor to fast advance a 5-3. And we're going to have a full-on bloop fire. So let's get rid of this Revolver. Let's get rid of this Shibboleth. And then they're going to get 2 points. So I think I'm going to draw off of this Vitruvius here. Okay, okay. Opponent has a 4-card hand size. I don't know that we can make use of that in any way, shape, or form. Why didn't they just break the blue? Because they only had 2 credits at the time. And they needed 4 credits to break. For some reason, Revolver is base 0. Yeah, I know. It's like Revolver... I mean, I don't know. Maybe, like, I am kind of grateful. Like, this is one of the things that's, like, it's very difficult to, like, think about. But, like, how do you make base strength matter in various ways? Like, maybe Revolver could be 2 for 4. But, whoa, we're just running into the bloop. Okay. Yeah, it's good design, but yeah. Oh, we're just throwing the boomerang down off the top of the deck. Oh, that's sick. Why did boomerang not target? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's good that this card doesn't just, like, break everything for free. There we go. Boomerang landed on the ice this time. And yeah, they'll let me trash some programs here. I think I actually let them trash the Spin Doctor, rather than, like, cycling my own. Because it eats up their bones, and these cards are not very valuable to me. Super not saying that Az and Sportsmiller are 2 of your favorite IDs. Fun to see them go up against each other. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, Clot is probably, you know, a big part of why we're not seeing a lot of Sports Metal around. Also, D, did y'all fire off Oh, okay, it doesn't look like y'all fired. But okay. Oh, did you fire? I'm not sure. Okay, so I mean, this is just fun. Oh, John Company. Oh, I didn't realize. I meant Dune Imperium. Or Dune Uprising, that's the one. I've been playing some John Company solo, which definitely not the best way to go, or like not the way the game is really meant to be played, obviously. But oh, the New Jersey crew played a great John Company game. That's sick. I need to try and get. I had a couple people over for John Company. I think 2 people liked it. 1 person wasn't the biggest fan. So I gotta try and organize that again. What's the approach to loot mulch decks at present? Oh wow, 21 and 23. Yeah, so I don't. So Glenn, you could, Not Again in my local meta has been really pushing his outfit build, which is like really heavily anti-mulch. It's not really a fast advanced deck, but it just is big chunky ice and like all of the destruction programs. Do I care about a single here? I don't think I really do, especially if he's gonna put a boomerang on here. Public Trail End the Line is a funny little combo though. It's like not something you see because it usually requires the runner to misplay, but outfit can put just like time pressure, which I think is an interesting aspect to that. Okay, I guess I was supposed to have risked this Hagen here. But it's fine, I'm just gonna Your Digital Life instead. I wish I would start seeing these Oppo researches, like, not on game point, but I guess that is kind of how the deck is constructed. Like, it's like, can you do an all 5/3 sports medal? It seems not good. It seems suspect, at least. If I can get a Biotic, though, I can score out. I'm just going to let them have this one, too, I think. Yep, especially with a flip switch down. There's no way they can seal the Ikoa here. Ooh, I like that. So I'm going to go Your Digital Life. Yeah, we'll just greasing this Gatekeeper onto R&D. Then we'll Oppo for 4 tags. Now, I guess Flip Switch can drop a tag for free. But, potentially our opponent could leave a tag on. I really do want, like, Biotic here, though. Biotic, Reason the Palm, Vitruvius as a 5/3 would be real cute. Oh yeah, I guess you don't even need the Subliminal or the RLC to score a 5/3. Because it comes in 4/1, then you advance it 3 times, get a click back, advance it a 4th time. I don't know why I didn't do that math properly, but it's just a 2-card combo to score a 5/3. Okay. So this is going to be Vitruvius in server 1, Hagen on server 2, excuse me. Let's just like put a wave on R&D and click for a credit. So if I res this Hagen, I only have 3 credits, so I can't overscore Vitruvius, but so it goes. I suspect I've trashed most of their rig at this point, with the revolver and the shibboleth gone. One inside job down, a boomerang stranded. Maybe survive this one. Would nothing better than solo fit on the Oppo turn? It would have, I think, right? What was our turn? Like, I just was like, oh yeah. Yeah, your digital life. Greasing the palm to ice R&D. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's totally right, B-Bomb. I think I'm definitely playing a little bit fast and loose here. Or actually, no, I'm not even playing fast and loose. I'm playing poorly. Yeah, no. Actually, the whole point of Oppo is you have to put a board. You have to put a threat on the board. Just tempo Oppo is bad for everyone. I think arguably the reason not to would be that, like, I actually don't have an ice to put it behind, where the runner can't just go out and get it. I guess, like, oh, they don't want to take infinite core damage, but it's an unusual run. But I also am not resing the pulse here, so maybe it's fine. Oh, interesting. Well, I don't want to have much choice here. I don't think you can have a Q-loop trick here. Oh, but you can flip switch. Well, I guess it's like flip string for a credit. Dune Imperium is like very different from the OG board game. Point where they're almost different games. I would like they're not even almost. They are just very different games. Okay. So amusingly, I can res this wave to then res the gatekeeper. If opponent doesn't run if opponent does run R&D here and lets them fire. They could res the wave and then flip switch out, which would be kind of a sick like download my deck play. No agendas in here, so this is fine. Is there a toggle on my viruses? It doesn't look like it. Okay. That is a bummer. Okay. Let's go. Is it click for 3? Okay, that's pretty good. So your digital life better than Tranquility Home Grid. So it's +4 here. Probably more than the credits that I get off Trank Grid. The advantage of the Trank Grid would obviously be that it could beta run. When I was in Packs of the Cut against Chris, I declined an Archives of Virus Purge for swag. Forgetting you had a sandstone counter. Oh goodness, I hope that didn't cost you the game. Yeah, I know the sandstone purge in op is like, well, it's like, but virus does so much for this for op. It's kind of wild, and like sandstone just punching way above its weight. I'm actually thinking now, I'm like, okay, if you wanted to nerf Op, what would you do? Like, without banning the ID, banning Sandstone, I think would be a really good way to hit Op really in a targeted fashion. Now, Dev, if you're, or not Dev, SBT, if you're listening, Op doesn't need to be hit. It's a perfect baby. Don't touch it. But, okay, so we have to do this in a weird order. Well, I think we just kind of have to score. Gain 2 credits. Then we're going to draw. So we don't actually need the subliminal. Yeah, no, I think it would, Ben. It would be a way to remove it from competitive play without, like, banning the ID, which is a thing that some people put stock in. Oh, I guess putting out naked remotes so that I can't protect is maybe not good, but they can already farm the wage workers here. Subliminal does get me 2 clicks here, Kevin. I am trying to save it so that I can do some 5-3 fast advanced shenanigans. Oh yeah, Brennan, I've been having some really bad allergies the last couple of days, and talked with a friend's doctor as opposed to a real actual doctor, and they're like, you idiot, just like double your dosage of your allergy medication for a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, and that's helped a little bit. Hopefully getting some more sleep will help the rest of the way. So yeah, like yesterday I was like too tired and feeling crummy, and a little bit of extra antihistamine calm it all down. So, but apparently still exhausted, still playing a little bit still playing very sloppy, or as I said earlier, just badly, not sloppy. But thanks for the concern. It is appreciated. Oh, I always forget that, like, one of the huge downsides of these is they are such tiny little pieces of ice. Like, they fall over to Amakua as in a gentle little breeze. But this is a good place for the runner to spend some time going to. I don't mind it very much. Oh, I should have watched back. Well, maybe I'll watch back tomorrow. Eric's slide, and I'll. I think it was one of those things where I'm like, oh man, this is 2 content creators. We should record us playing this game. And I was like, yeah, maybe just for once I'll try and not make content out of my time with Netrunner. But we'll see. And I think we have a date. Yeah, I think actually maybe even I'll be on his next stream on a week from Monday. And I'll be in person. I don't think we've talked about what we're playing yet. So if there's decks that people want to see me and Eric play against each other, Eric being Canister here from Neon Static, please let me know. I'm very suggestible at the moment because this meta is quite quiet, I guess. in terms of like things to explore, it feels like a lot of things have been kind of sorted out. Maybe we can do a... oh, where did that ice label go? We're playing Corp. We can label this ice. Okay. Here comes the big question. Do I have enough money? Subliminal and greasing gain me credits. I think I do. Am I credit perfect here? Oh, let's frickin' go. Oh, let's go. GG. All right, so what did we need there? We started our turn with 6 credits, and a lot of cards in hand. But yeah. All right. Thanks for the suggestion, Brennan. Couldn't use Trank anyway for another credit. Yes, I could have. Yes, that's totally true. But that is Fast Advance. Scoring the Ikawa from the hand feels pretty good. So thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a real blast. It's been great chatting with all y'all. And I'll see you hopefully next Friday. Yeah, have a good night, everyone.